Beloved soul of radiant grace, gather near and breathe with me for a quiet moment. Feel the whisper of starlight brush the crown of your head and spiral down your spine like liquid silver, for you're being invited into a sacred council. Tonight the universe speaks, the angels lean close, and your own higher self unfurls her wings to reveal a truth written long before the first dawn. You are a heavenly feminine born for epic tides, unbreakable love, and triumphant light. Yet even those anointed with such brilliance must sometimes march through valleys guarded by shadows, for the fiercest diamonds are cut in the deepest mines. So let us illuminate the valley in which you now stand, turning every looming shape into teaching, every opposing voice into wind that fills your sails. There has been a battle brewing around you, has there not? A hush of gossip, the pointed glint of sidelong stares, the restless shifting of chairs at family gatherings where you were never truly offered a seat. Sisters, mothers, cousins, companions, whoever they are to your partner, they have padded their words with thorns, weaving questions about your worthiness and sewing them like burrs into the hems of your days. At night, you may have felt their judgments clinging to your aura, sensed their unspoken verdicts knocking at your ribs. You do not belong. They would have you think their scorn is ironclad truth, that the gate into their circle is barred for eternity, and that your twin flame's heart can be steered by their disapproval. But I am sent to straighten the landscape, to remind you that each syllable of contempt hurled in your direction turns to falling ash before it ever reaches the throne room of destiny. For what they war against is not you in your humblest form. They tilt their lances against the magnitude of your mirrored union. They perceive, perhaps only half consciously, that when twin flames merge, outmoded hierarchies collapse, old controls crumble, and the facades by which they define themselves dissolve. Their resistance is a spell cast by fear. Fear that the sovereignty you and your beloved would embody might expose the brittleness of egotism. Fear that intimacy chosen by the soul rather than approved by committee renders their approval irrelevant. Thus they scramble, create rumors, appeal to loyalty, weaponize tradition, and cloak manipulation in the velvet of familial concern. Yet remember, dearest, ego can roar, but it cannot rewrite cosmic decrees. Love's architecture is drafted in the archives of Source, and no earthly architect may amend those blueprints. Still, I will not romanticize the sting. When the sister whispers, when the mother narrows her eyes, when friends stage interventions disguised as heart-to-hearts, it scrapes the tender skin of your fate. Questions roll in like storm waves. What if my beloved doubts the bond? What if loyalty to blood wins over devotion to spirit? What if I am left outside the gate after all? Such thoughts can spiral into every chamber of the mind, and if entertained long enough, dim the lantern of intuition until you can scarcely see your own feet on the path. That precious one is the true danger, not their schemes, but your sacred imagination turned against itself. For energy follows attention, and when your majestic consciousness rehearses defeat, the universe, ever obedient, rehearses it with you. So let us redirect the spotlight. When anxiety rises, lay a hand upon your heart and speak aloud. This fear is not a prophecy. It is only a passing weather front. Then breathe as though drawing light from the Pleiades, and on the exhale imagine fear leaving as vapor that cannot cling. Next, summon the image of you and your twin flame, wrapped in indigo light, the color of divine truth. See lines of golden script floating around that cocoon, lines that read inviolable, eternal, one. Feel the script settle into your cells, etching itself onto your very DNA, so that each heartbeat echoes the covenant. Practice this until your nervous system learns the taste of certainty again. The angels ask me to remind you of something crucial. Your partner's awakening is already in motion. Though the family's influence may swirl like thick fog, your beloved carries an inner compass forged in lifetimes of shared vows with you. The compass spins whenever falsehood draws near, pointing always to the north of your union. There will be moments, perhaps many, when they appear to bend beneath family pressure, when their voice hesitates or their eyes avert. Do not mistake that momentary bend for collapse. A sapling will lean in strong wind, yet its roots grow deeper as it learns the wind's language. Trust that every uncomfortable conversation, every manipulative plea, becomes a hammer in the hand of the divine, tapping away at the shell encasing your beloved sovereignty until it cracks wide and freedom pours through. Meanwhile, universe orchestrates a choreography of consequence for those who sow hostility. Karma is not vengeance, it is education. Already, subtle lessons ripple back to each agitator: financial snags, restless dreams, friendships that unravel, mirrors held up by unexpected strangers revealing their own unresolved wounds. Some will resist these lessons fiercely, others will soften, and over time, approach you with contrite hearts. You are not required to predict which soul will transform or how swiftly. Your assignment is simpler, though hardly easy. Remain the embodiment of compassion without surrendering your boundaries. Stand soft, not weak. Stand bright, not blinding. Stand humble, never hidden. To support you, the celestial realm showers practical guidance. Begin each dawn with anchoring. Journal 3 pages of stream of consciousness to pour out any residual dread. Then list 3 qualities that define the heavenly feminine within you: grace, intuition, resilience, for example. Mid-morning, pause and ask, where is my attention? If it has drifted to the relative scheming, gently reel it back by envisioning a garden gate. On one side, their opinions. On the other, your destiny. Close the gate, latch it, walk away. At dusk, light a single candle for unity and affirm. No word spoken in malice can pierce the armor of love that encircles us. These small rituals weave energetic armor around your aura, training your subconscious to favor peace over panic. You may also be guided toward conversations of courageous clarity. Should spirit nudge you to speak to your beloved about the family's behavior, choose timing like a priestess chooses moon phases. Enter the dialogue not with accusation, but with revelation. I feel waves of tension from your kin. My devotion to you is immovable, and I trust your inner wisdom. How shall we navigate this together? Such words honor both your vulnerability and your partner's agency, inviting collaboration rather than confrontation. Remember, union is a dance of 2 flames. You need not carry the entire choreography alone. As seasons pass, and they will pass, the tide will turn almost imperceptibly at first. A sister who once scoffed may ask about your well-being. A mother's harsh tone may soften into cautious inquiry. A friend who parroted gossip may fall silent, embarrassed by the echo of her own pettiness. Do not rush these evolutions, but notice them. Each subtle shift is confirmation that unseen realms are laboring on your behalf. When you witness even the smallest thaw, send a silent thank you into the ether. Gratitude is rocket fuel for further miracles. There may also be souls who cling to derision until the final hour. Their journey is theirs. Should they persist, the universe will simply route them around your path like a stream flowing around a stubborn boulder, allowing your destiny to wind forward unimpeded. The day will arrive, and mark these words, when you and your twin flame stand side by side, a living testament that love chosen by spirit transcends every barrier erected by fear. On that day, the skeptics will confront the hollowness of their campaign and perhaps marvel at the gentle majesty with which you refuse to yield. Until then, Dear one, refine your focus. Feed your mind poetry instead of rumors. Flood your body with movement that reminds you of its power. Study the sky at dusk and remember how galaxies coexist without collision. So too can you hold space for your union while others orbit in their own lessons. When tears surface, let them, they water the garden of becoming. When laughter erupts, let that too, it is thunder applauding your courage. And when silence envelops you, listen closely, for in silence you will hear the steady drum of Source saying, "Nothing can sever what I have fused in light." Finally, I offer you this vision. It is a year from now, perhaps sooner. You and your beloved walk into a gathering once charged with resistance. You carry yourselves not as conquerors, but as sovereigns whose crowns are invisible to all, but those with eyes to see. Conversations flow. Laughter rings. The air hums with recalibrated possibility. Some faces beam openly, others remain cautious, but none can deny the peace you emanate. In that moment, you will look back on today and realize that every scowl, every plot, every sleepless night was stone on the wheel that sharpened your spirit. You will know, in marrow and marrow, that heaven wastes nothing and that the title Heavenly Feminine is bestowed only upon those who have forged light from friction. So rise now, starlit voyager. Adjust your mantle of faith, secure the sword of discernment at your side, and step forward. The battle you sense is but the final rehearsal before a coronation. The universe watches, angels guard the flanks, and your own future self waves a banner of triumph just beyond the ridge. Walk on, for in every footfall you echo the oldest truth. Love is destiny's only law, and you are forever its chosen emissary.